Hey everyone, Chris here. I'm here in my shop. Today in this video is to go over the makeup of TruStone, and that's this stuff that looks like malachite or turquoise or other semi-precious stones here. The results are awesome, but it confuses people when they hear the phrase TruStone. So number one, I don't make these materials myself. It's something that I purchased from different vendors. This one happens to be from Beartooth. And it's spelled TruStone, TruStone. And it's not to confuse you, but it is confusing. Because what they do with this stuff is it starts out as powdered turquoise, okay? And then put together with acrylic and rebonded. So basically what they're doing is they're pulverizing into a powder. I just sanded some here. And it's mixed with a composite acrylic and put back together. And however they do it magically, I have no idea. They get these lines back into it. I guess they put them in clumps and then add some coloring. And they get the lines, and the lines are called matrix. So this would be in real turquoise, like a solid piece of turquoise with this matrix. It's something that people look for, the design in acrylics, in the actual turquoise itself. And anything with a tighter matrix, depending on the mine comes from, is even more sought after. And sometimes there's other colors and other minerals involved. Now, there's a love-hate out in the industry for what this stuff called TruStone, because you can actually simulate what appears to be like this bracelet here. Now, I don't know if this is actual stone and dyed. I think I would have to break a piece, but to see what it is. But sometimes it's hard to tell. So some people in the industry, when they hear the word TruStone, or I think they call it chalk stone or chalk composite, they get upset. But for woodworking, because of this being part acrylic and part stone, it gives you a natural characteristic of the stone. Not the same density, but a hard enough density that if you click this on your teeth, you're going to think that it's going to be a stone piece. But it makes it soft enough so you can work this with woodworking tools. So the same way that I turn a acrylic bead, something like this, I could use the same tools or similar tools to turn something that resembles stone in its closest form. Now, I've had some discussions and arguments with people about whether they really use the actual mineral of the TruStone. Like this one happens to be Lapis. And what do they use? Do they actually use crushed lapis and powdered lapis? I don't know. The industry says they do, and I don't see why they wouldn't want to take the leftover crushed filings and bits and pieces and use as much as the product as possible and recycle it into something else that was going to go in the garbage, into something that's valuable. So, but it comes in all different types. Like this one is a malachite. And like something like this, I don't know if it would be real malachite they actually ground up and put back together or not. But I don't see why the turquoise wouldn't make sense to do. I don't have a way of testing it. So, if you wanted to, this ring here, I was in the jewelry industry way back when, and this is one of the rings that I had bought. It's supposed to be real turquoise, but honestly, nowadays, you can't tell the difference. So it's tough, but I don't want to deceive anyone and say that, these beads that I'm making, no matter how beautiful they are a real natural turquoise. They're not. They're pulverized stone and reassembled in a dense acrylic. So dense that this tool here that I normally would cut acrylic with, this is hardened steel. And the hardened steel, these are really easy to sharpen, and this tool here isn't a fancy tool. This is about a $20 tool, or maybe $30. It's nothing that great. I can't cut TruStone with this tool. I can, but I'd have to resharpen it probably 4 or 5 times before I was done. So I end up by having to use this tool here. Is a much more expensive tool, probably about $75–80, with a replaceable carbide tip. So what I can do is just rotate that tip every time I need a sharper edge to cut this material. And it takes a lot longer. I have to be a lot more gentle. The plastic stuff, the acrylic stuff, won't shatter and break as easy, even though it will shatter. This stuff here, it's because it has that stone characteristic. I have to go very, very slow with it. And also when it comes to polishing it, it eats away at all my sanding pads and stuff like that. So I don't do too many of these, mostly by request, but the results are absolutely awesome. So like this here is a piece of Lapis, and then they actually has the gold matrix, which you'll see in natural Lapis. How they get it in there, I don't know. What the material is, I don't know. It could be gold. Who knows? This is another type of... and then this stuff is very expensive too. Is there a price on here? No, it's a lot number. Yeah, like this is about 10 years old. That's $10. This normally, if you go to buy this, is probably about $15–20 for this one here. But this one is, I can't read it through my glasses and through the camera. TruStone. No, I can't see that. All right. Well, I can't. I'm sorry, because I'm trying to run the camera. I don't have my good glasses on. So, and you know, like this one here has got the gold matrix in it as well. So, I mean, all of these are cut-offs, and this is just a solid one. This wouldn't be, I forget the name of this material. It would be another white stone with a matrix in it, but this is also the material, if it was real, the stuff that they dye to make phony stuff of this. So just, you know, I don't want to confuse people, and I want to let them know that, you know, they call it, well, why they call it TruStone. Oh, and I had these over here as just an example. This is corian. Now, corian is another similar makeup. This is a mined ore called aluminum trihydrate mixed with acrylic as well to give it that stone-like characteristic. And so you know that this is something that's been in industry for a while, but they don't claim to be any type of fancy minerals when they make solid surfaces. Just when it comes to the stuff for the turning, and a lot of these are for turning pens mostly. So, but you can do a lot of things with this stuff, and it does come in larger pieces to make knobs and other stuff like that. The one other thing to mention is putting these together. I have to be careful because normally when I do a segmented or two-part acrylic bead like this, I can get away with CA, which is kind of like crazy glue. I prefer not to. I prefer to use a two-part epoxy because it's much stronger bond. So also when it comes to making these, I'll do a two-part epoxy and I'll glue them together. This is, I started gluing one side together on this, the piece of acrylic on one side. Okay, and this is prepared. I gotta, you know, clean this and then sand it down, and then it will get another piece epoxied on the other side. If I try to do them both at the same time, they slide around. So that's an extra step. So between preparing these, getting them flat, putting epoxy them together, cutting them with the proper tools, with this tool and not this tool over here, you know, and then polishing them, because now I'm polishing something that is wood and acrylic, which that is, I do a little process to keep the two from, you know, messing up each other. So that's the basics on TruStone and what it's all about, and you know, so what it is, so I don't confuse people. I want to try to be as honest with you as possible. And I still got to do some more videos on acrylics. I think a more in-depth video on acrylic everyone would be happy to see, as well as the CNC stuff.